As well as being fluent in both Spanish and English, these 7-year-old Mexico City primary school students are also well on their way to speaking Mandarin. Having been taught through songs, tongue twisters and simple repetition, they can now hold basic conversations with their Chinese tutor. The Queen Elizabeth School was the first primary in the Mexican capital to offer Chinese language lessons and has now been teaching it for 20 years under the leadership of Maruca Rojas.
No one believed that Mexican children without Chinese connections or family could learn to speak Mandarin, but I like big challenges.
For Maruca, the key is starting early.
We started Chinese lessons in kindergarten with 5-year-old kids because the younger a student is when learning a new language, the more easily they pick it up.
Today, educational institutions are more focused on exchange with China.
The rest of the world, learning Mandarin is pretty critical.
That's a vital trend for Stephen Lynch, the managing director of the British Chamber of Commerce in Beijing.
With China, often there is misunderstandings, and I think a huge part of that has been driven by the language. China's an extremely unique country. Its economic growth in the last 40, 50 years has been pretty exponential. But it hasn't been caught up with the rest of the world learning the Chinese language, learning Mandarin. So I do actually think learning the language goes a long way to bridging that gap of cultural differences.
For Maruca, one of the goals has been engendering a more international outlook in the students she is forming.
I believe that in our internationalized world, our outlook must be towards Asia as well as Europe, and speaking the same language can break down the barriers to being more united.
Alasdair, Baverstock, CGTN, Mexico City.